What's up, nerds? Welcome to some more spoiler talk on What Now? Antman Quantumania. Oh, Antman and the Wasp. Don't want to screw her. Antman and the Wasp Quantumania. Post-credit 2. The Victor Timely Loki Season 2. If you haven't seen the movie, we're talking spoilers and we're talking speculation. So if you haven't seen it yet, wait, come back, put this on your watch list, you check it out later. Also, stay tuned for a giveaway announcement at the end. So, fellas, let's talk about this crazy post-credit scene where Victor Timely is trying to, looks like, sell a time machine to people in the year, speculating, early 1900s. 1901 is supposed to, allegedly, the rumor. And that he has the look of a Frederick Douglass, one of the early guys talking about civil rights in this country for African Americans. And in the crowd is Loki and Mobius and Mobius. And Loki's trying to explain to Mobius how dangerous this guy is. And Mobius just doesn't get it. What do you mean he's dangerous? What are you talking about? And you just don't know what's coming. If we stop him now, maybe we could stop this entire thing. I will start this off with a speculation that I heard, a rumor that what you're seeing is He Who Remains at the beginning. This is his first trip back in time, and that he is Victor Timely. So that he's the one that actually started this, and this is his first trip back in time. What do you think about that?
That's very interesting. I'm gonna be honest.
It broke my head.
It kind of you see where I'm going,
right.
Sleepy. I had to talk.
Interesting.
Well, I figured I would just start with that right away. There's no point in saving that one.
No, and it's cool you didn't save it, but it's hard to wrap it. Like Sleepy said, and I'm gonna tell you why it's hard to wrap it, because basically, which means, hey, he did say, you kill me. Oh, if you don't want, you kill me. We have a multiversal war, and I'm back over here again. So it makes sense that probably will be him, but I wasn't expecting it to be He Who Remains, like I thought it was just a variant. So the fact that it's actually He Who Remains brings a different layer to speculations, because you're telling me that He Who Remains died, but he got reborn again.
Timely.
No. He wasn't born
this
again.
already happened.
No. He wasn't born again. No,
That's
you can
him.
go back and stop him right there. That's the rumor. That they could stop it, and then what happened to Sylvia would have never happened.
Okay. So you kind of, so it was different. You had a kind of, I expected it different. I thought that he got reborn again, or he started the cycle again, and that's how he started. No, okay. So now I understand.
A lot more sense.
So, yeah, the contest was, so now it's kind of more messed up, because you're telling me that this is He Who Remains before he found out what he had to do to become He Who Remains.
Right.
So basically, to not get him killed by Sylvie, what Loki's trying to do is
protect him from the beginning.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why Morbius doesn't. It's like, why is he so dangerous?
It's important, and so important.
What? It's like, if we don't get a wow from this man this season, I'm telling you, I'm gonna riot.
No.
This is the first tie-in to it. We gotta acknowledge this is the first tie-in from a Marvel movie to a Disney Plus show.
Yes,
which is amazing. And to be honest, I like this. Let's just say it out there. As cool as the console Kang,
this holds its own too.
Yeah, as cool as the console Kang end credit scene was, which, if you haven't seen part 1, That's going to be in the link on the description of this. But as cool as that was, this is pretty cool too, because, ironically, it shows you that he was still messing with time. He's showing that weird ass time machine. And if you see it, it was made like out of a whole bunch of stuff, like, the camera from the 1900s. And then he had like magnifying glasses. And I'm guessing, which is weird. It's weird and it's cool. I actually liked it. I like how Mobius is, really telling Loki, like, I don't see the problem with this guy. And Loki's all panicking, like, it's just, they could go so many ways with this. And I actually can't wait for the Loki show, because, to be honest, if this is actually He Who Remains before he becomes He Who Remains, he was Victor's Timely then?
Yes.
And to be honest, it's weird. It's just weird, because then what timeline? Look, okay, so I'm going to say it from the get-go. So there's always been like probably 2 timelines, right? Because, and I know what you're going to say. You're probably, okay. If Victor Timely was from that time, right? If he was from that time and Loki goes back in time to stop them before everything happened, why is there no mention of Victor timeline down the road?
Because remember, he jumps time. He's going back in time to make a bunch of money. Take that and bring it forward and eventually create the Kang Dynasty War. The war. Because remember, he was the first one to decide to go back in time, and then he's the one that discovered the multiverse and started going and visiting other universes and other versions of himself. And it was the Conqueror who decided to wipe everybody out. If he is Victor Timely, he's just there trying to make a bunch of money.
It's, and that's the thing. When you think about the whole concept of how time works, and how the multiverse work and everything, it's pretty cool. It's just don't quite understand where the thing goes. Like I understand where you're going, but come on, it's a guy that was trying to do time. He still should have probably been mentioned down the road.
No, because remember, he knows the end of the story. You can just remove yourself.
Well, yeah, but
because remember, you're thinking of this as a comic book story and not the MCU. Who's to say he wasn't mentioned? He wasn't brought up to us, but who's to say he's not in there? Remember in Iron Man 2, when Nick Fury went to go help Iron Man, he gave him his father's stuff. It says, look, you want to fix the problem you have with the arc reactor poisoning you, go into your father's technology and fix it. You want to know how the Mickey Rourke character came in there and knew your father's technology with the arc reactor? Well, guess what? Your father stole that technology from this Russian guy who turned out to be a spy. Yep. So go back and actually investigate. If you're Kang and you've conquered time, you go back in there, you steal stuff and bring it forward. You basically erase any memory of you because you control time. So that's why I think he's never been mentioned.
It's just I'm saying it would be cool if probably like, okay, so my thing was that it would have been cool if they like how we speculated like probably a couple of days ago, where we said, well, what? Oh no, actually, when we speculated on that, on the rumor leak, which we did that episode a couple of weeks ago, where I said it would be cool if he's trying to like let's say, remember Avengers Tower is Timely Towers and shit like that. Like it would be cool if he's actually trying to insert himself in the timeline and he's changing the timeline as it goes.
Remember, they never revealed who bought Avengers Tower.
That is true. See, so that would be cool if he eventually is like, oh, Victor Timely or his great grandson or
his company, basically.
his, that'll be cool. So to me, I want to see what they really bring with this, because the whole fact that they're bringing in Victor Timely, a Kang variant that used to be a scientist and worked on. Matter of fact, they could make this really cool. I'm just gonna say this out here. What if this is just out there? Let me just say this out there. This will be cool because this will tie it up even phase 1 of Marvel. But this is just me throwing shit out there. So let's say that Victor Timely is not mentioned. It is true. We never found out who bought Avengers Tower. And remember, he who remains at the end of in Loki, he said that everything that happened, he paid the road. So that means the Avengers, how they got rid of Thanos, because I don't think they killed Thanos. Remember, he got dusted. And if everybody else got dusted and came back, he could come back. But the point is, I think, and this is where I'm going, I think that Iron Man dying and everything was part of Kang. And why was it part of Kang? Because this is a weird theory, but let's say that Victor Timely ain't mentioned, but let's say Howard Stark met Victor Timely and stole his tech. Now that you said that he stole Whiplash Dad's tech, how if he stole his invention, his tech?
What if he didn't steal it, that Kang gave it to him for a reason?
Could be, but then why would he need Iron Man dead? And remember, what a coincidence that
dead.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And he would need Iron Man dead and all that. And what a coincidence that when you see Endgame, and we knew right away what was coming after that, Tony.
Right.
They messed with time travel, and we were like, well, the next big guy is Kang the Conqueror.
Remember what he said, when you mess with time, time bites back.
Backs you back. So I think this could get connected really nice, bro. Like you said, what is probably Victor Timely didn't want the fame. What if he actually met Howard Stark and gave him the tech? Like, look, this is something that I'm gonna give you. You do whatever you do.
Remember in Loki season 1, when Loki brought up the fact that the Avengers went back in time, and he says, no, they were supposed to do that.
See what I'm telling you?
What if Victor Timely, a la He Who Remains, wrote that up, set that up perfectly for them to do it, because the Avengers also put everything back. Mm-hmm. That Loki's the variant. Also remember in Loki season 1, there is a destroyed Avengers Tower in there. And we also don't see who hosted. We also see a Sphinx there, which leads you to Ramatut. Yes.
It's a lot of cool stuff, bro. Like I said,
go back and look.
Yes, go watch it.
When he goes in the variant scene, look at all the Easter eggs that are there. And there's certain comic book Easter. No, remember when he goes to that place with all the other local variants? They drop slowly in there various Easter eggs to tell you what happened in the past, because the Living Tribunal's head is there as well.
Yeah.
So there are various things there. I think it's episode 7. I'll get you the episode for sure once we're done recording, and just look at what you see there, and that hints at everything that He Who Remains put there. And that monster would take it out. Ethok, I think is his name, and he would destroy it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's been playing this game the whole time.
I honestly think that, and like I said, it would be cool if that's how you tie it. That will be, bro, that would be amazing. It will be crazy. Let's say, when you think Iron Man ended in Endgame, no. This guy is still Oh, in the universe, because guess what? It would be cool if, like you said, Victor Timely, or if you want to do it, depending how you want to do the story. You could either give it to Victor Timely, gave it to Howard Stark, or Howard Stark started working with Victor Timely, betrays him, and that's why Kang did the whole thing.
Or Howard Stark's father. We go back another generation, just like in the Batman Court of Owls, that Bruce Wayne's grandfather has been working with them the entire time. What if Howard Stark's father began working with Victor Timely back in the day, and you evolve it forward? Because that's how he was playing it.
Is that why the technology was always, even for I think when he was making his stuff,
reactor, it was a circle.
It's a circle,
and the thing that he made was a circle as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
His arc reactor was a circle, and then the machine used to power it up was circle as well, I believe.
And it reminds you of the multiverse power core.
Yeah, and remember, he's like, we've always had this. I've had these blueprints, but the technology hasn't been invented yet. How the fuck do you have blueprints for technology that's not invented?
Invented yet? There you go, Sleepy. There you fucking go, Sleepy.
Right.
See where I'm telling you? It's out there. If you see everything, it's out. No, it's out there.
But see, think about it.
Like
Loki figures it out. And if I take out Timely now, we'll never get to where we need to prune people in a timeline. But Mobius says, I don't get it. He's just some crazy guy on the stage talking about Avenger. He doesn't mean anything. But that's a twist like you came up with that I think will happen in Loki season 2, which was my most anticipated show of this year in Phase 5 for the same reason as Gecko, because of Kang the Conqueror.
Kang.
It just depends on which version we get.
Marvel this year.
Yeah.
No, because it's true. If you see, like I said Howard Stark. Tony said his grandpa. Then you said, if you start thinking about going deep into it, like you said, he told him like, he knew technology, just it wasn't. Where is he getting the blueprints to this shit?
Right.
What if a guy from a different time, bro? To be honest,
circle in his chest.
Exactly.
Fucking, it takes a circle magnet. Like,
I don't know if you guys know the history of the World's Fair, but back in the day, that was how, before E3 and all these other things, that's how you showed off future technology. What was the Stark Expo and X-Men 2? It was basically a ripoff of the World's Fair. Where did Walt Disney launch a lot of his showing you all these great cartoons and stuff? At the World's Fair. So it's sort of, you see Victor Timely at what looks like a World's Fair of telling you what will happen 100 years in the future, because he was already there. He knows what's coming. So I can go back in time and set all this stuff up for me.
Yep. And what if he's passing a generation for him to get the info?
Right.
Like it's so cool, bro, because like you see, Sleepy brought it up. Like he said, I said the whole Iron Man thing.
Yeah.
And if you start speculating with the whole thing, it could go any way, because like how Sleepy said, what a coincidence that the arc reactor circle, it got blue light. Where do you see the blue light? Oh, we just seen it. We just freaking seen it.
From
Kang got fucking blue lights. So what a coincidence,
Also, remember in the Shang-Chi movie, when his mother had the 10 rings, it was gold. When Wu, his father, had it, it was blue, as in evil. And is this part of the speculation? And since we're also future casting, another rumor for the Marvels movie is that we're going to find out who has the second bangle. And that character looks like will be played by Tom Hiddleston's real-life wife. Will be playing the villain in that movie. As the Kree. So, yes, I know he has to go look it up real quick. So, it all sort of Phase 4 looked to be like a bunch of crap, but it seems to slowly all be paying in. Where I want to take this from Scarlet Witch and Vision. I'm going to take this from Miss Marvel. I'm going to take this from Moon Knight. I'm going to take this from Shang-Chi and slowly make it tie in and put it all together. So you know what I mean? It's like, remember, the Illuminati was in a screenshot mentioned in Iron Man 2, but didn't get paid off until, 12 years later in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Remember, the Quantumania was mentioned in the first Ant-Man movie, but you see it fully realized in Ant-Man 3. So maybe it's there. We're just, like I said, we're just not seeing it yet.
And this is another freaking thing now that you mentioned the Illuminati. If the Illuminatis are not in 616, you know where I'm going with it, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How did Tony Stark had that info on the Illuminatis?
Right.
And let's say, what a coincidence that he's the guy that actually is the one that uncovers time travel.
Right.
I don't know, too many coincidences there with Iron Man, bro.
Right.
Was he Iron Man?
Do you know what I'm saying?
It could be.
It could be a stretch. I mean,
no, because that makes it
time travel. Everything he did was blue.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. He was really smart, really powerful.
Or maybe a different version of Iron Man. And maybe an evil version of Iron Man. I love the Invincible Iron Man, who's such a dick to everybody, is also helping in a different multiverse. Because what if, if you're a different version of Kang, why wouldn't you just come over to 616 or 838 and conquer that universe? And take what you know back to what you was. Because remember, in the beginning, He Who Remains says we were sharing info, we were sharing tech. And in the comics, Kang was a nerd who was just smarter than everybody and figured out, go back in time, got his manhood, and then came back and started conquering. So what if, but the actual Conqueror Kang decided to take advantage of it and just I'm going to fuck up everybody. But this Kang wants to do it on the slide and just slide, like, it basically, for lack of a better term, slide into your DMs. Hey, this is how you invent a time machine. This is how you do space travel. This is how you create a super soldier. And just slowly do that.
I don't know.
Super suit that flies that we don't have technology for.
It's just, I'm sorry to say it, but it's just too much with Iron Man, bro. It's just the guy. The guy, like you said, the guy freaking hit. Okay, or either there was a Illuminati team in the 616 universe, or he already knew about the multiverse.
Maybe there's a 616 Illuminati, we just don't know the members. And I think Chadwick Boseman's death altered that. And also at the time, they didn't own the rights to the mutants, but I think Disney had to plan all along to buy the characters back to basically buy 20th Century Fox and get those characters back. So that's why they threw that Easter egg in there. Because remember, Doctor Strange had also not been introduced yet. So remember, this is 2010, so this is early MCU.
But like I said, like, you could tie it so cool. The fact that he had the info on the Illuminati, that he already knew about multiverse, that his dad told him. Like I said, you could play it out so many ways, bro. Because like you said, what if it was Kang the Conqueror giving Howard Stark's dad, like, oh, look, this is how you time travel, but it's being kind of hard right now to do. But if you pass it down generation down to generation down to generations, it might be out there.
Well, think about it. The original cell phone was probably the size of this tablet and about 15 pounds heavier to where we are now. So you can have plans for it. If they ever invent this, we could do this. So that part makes sense. So I can see that. You know, we always you could future plan, and then once the technology catches up, you could do it. So that part is based on real life.
And I think that's what he did.
Go ahead, Sleepy. You got a question?
Do you think because since Stark Industries is super like into manufacturing of weapons, right? We learned from Eternals that's the only way technology advances. Do you think that seed was pressed into them by Kang, so they keep developing that new technology to get where he needs them?
Yes, because basically, if he goes and alters the past, he also alters his future.
Mm.
And since he knows how it ends, he knows where to basically give them the technology to push his story forward. That way, he's not altering. I'm giving Howard Stark, father, whoever he is, the technology.
Okay.
I'm giving Howard this. I'm giving Tony this, and they will pass it on for me. So I'm not technically interfering and creating a variant. And if I do create a variant, I'll have my TVA go back in time, you know, prune them, and then they go to that place, a la the Loki variants, because there are other variants there as well, and just kill them all. Remember, in Loki, we only saw the Loki variants. We saw in this movie, Quantumania, everybody gets a variant. If you know, it happens. So who's this? And we already know we're going to get variants of other characters, good and bad.
Yeah, you see that probability?
Yeah.
Was it the probability pool?
Yeah, the probability pool, yeah. So we know that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically told you. They basically told you what Secret Wars is. That we're getting variants. They're going to all form this Super Avengers team, the Multiverse Avengers, and they're going to have to fight against either a version of Kang or the Beyonderer. They're going to have to fight him.
You know what would be cool? You know what would be cool?
Mm.
If there's like, let's just say, now that you're talking about Secret Wars, it would be cool like if there's just a whole bunch of duplicates of each heroes and they're just finding each other on Secret World, walking like, oh, we need to find Loki, and then they eventually find a Loki, but this Loki is not their Loki, and they end up fighting like, oh, come on, let's square up. Like, I don't know, it'll be cool, you know, cool stuff to see out there. But like I said, you could go a lot of ways. I honestly hope that the way they go to really incorporate and to really hit home where they're like, well, you know, we started with Iron Man, is his legacy. I think it would be cool if they keep pushing on that, you know, that story where that would be cool. Like, we didn't hear from Victor Timely because it's not that he didn't assist, like you said. It was that he didn't want to be known. So he gave the tech, or he gives the tech to Howard Stark or his grandpa, or they steal it, whatever the point is. The point is that he been setting up the story from the get-go. The end game, and, you know, not pun intended because of the movie Endgame, but the end game to the whole thing is him getting till the end, you know, and probably that's how he controlled the whole timeline and kept it one. Like you said, Tony, probably he did create the whole TVA to, you know, keep everybody on check, you know, like, oh, if I fuck up and I create a variant, you kill that variant. Or if I fuck up and this hero somehow does something different that I don't expect, you kill that variant.
Yep.
So I can see where they're going with it, to be honest. And there's a lot of cool stuff with the whole multiverse thing. The fact, but, you know, before we wrap this up and whatnot, the fact that they're using Victor Timely, a scientist, in 19-something, kind of hits home to Howard Stark or his family. You know,
what if Howard Stark's father's in the crowd and is inspired by that?
And goes up to him and tells him, like, I will fund your project. You see where I'm going? Yeah. Tony, you know what, bro?
True.
This is fucking, you see where I'm telling you, bro?
True.
There's so many things they could do, bro. What if it's true? What if it's his grandpa, Iron Man's grandpa? And he's like, after the show, he goes up to him and he's like, "Hey, I got inspired by while you were talking about and obviously Victor Timely is giving.
What if we see his wife pregnant with a young Howard Stark?
Exactly. You could tie this shit so many cool ways because, if my understanding is, Iron Man comes from a wealthy family. So
Right.
let's say Victor Timely is giving the presentation to be able to sell it to somebody so somebody could fund it. Let's say is Howard Stark or Howard Stark's dad, and tells him that, you know what, I'll fund your little project.
Oh yeah.
And what if Iron Lad is gender swapped, and when she takes off the mask, it's Tony Stark's daughter?
Ooh. Matter of fact, and I know we talked about this before. What if Kang is an Iron Man variant?
Yes. Could be.
You know what I'm saying? Because what a coincidence.
Depending on who's writing the comic, he's either a Doom variant or he's a Reed Richards variant. So what if in the MCU he's an Iron Man variant or a future relative of Iron Man?
Of Iron Man. That's what I'm saying. Like, what if he's a future I'm just going to say it here. What if in Kang Dynasty, you see the backstory of Kang, how it supposedly happened? It shows like he's young and he found out about his great grandpa that he sacrificed himself to do the whole thing. Let's just say that. And then he's like, oh, well, this has to happen. But, dude, there's so many cool ways you could go with this. And to be honest,
the door's open.
It'll be a missed opportunity if they don't seize that.
Oh, I think they will.
Opportunity.
Any final thoughts to wrap us up, Sleepy?
Oh, I'm just excited to go see it again.
All right. For those asking about this giveaway that we announced on various podcasts recorded today, we're giving away a PlayStation 5 at 5,000 subscribers. All you have to do is subscribe and leave a comment on the link for one of these videos that we're doing. And once we hit 5,000, we will randomly pick a winner and give it away. Deuces, nerds.
Deuces.